Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Tucker. Thank you for having me here today. I'm happy to be home. Wheeling is my home city. Born and raised here. My father still lives here. Thank you to the Education Alliance and Amelia for having me here. I was going to praise you a little bit more before I realized I came on after Faith. But once I saw her, then I started really questioning my placement in the program. But no, I appreciate it very much, and I'm thankful to be here and talk with all of you here today. Most of my work focuses on workforce development in the state of West Virginia and making sure that we are meeting the economy, or the needs of our economy in West Virginia. So to that end, let me give you some statistics that you may not be familiar with. About 60% of jobs in the state of West Virginia are going to need to be filled by people who have some form of post-secondary training. That's a 1-year certificate, a 2-year associate's degree, a 4-year baccalaureate degree, or higher. Now that's not to grow our economy. That's just to keep us steady. We need 60% of our residents, of our working age residents, to have post-secondary training. Currently, 31% of our citizens who are working age have a degree post-secondary credential. 31%. We have a huge gap. We have a huge mismatch. And for some, they may think that that's, a huge hurdle to cross or to bear. I think of it as an opportunity. We can have tremendous growth in this state. We have all of these students like Faith, who are so amazing and so incredible, who just need to be given a hand up so that we can change that 31% gap. We can make it closer to 60, so that we can make sure that we're meeting the workforce needs of our state. I work with employers every day, talk with them about their needs. There are thousands of jobs in the state of West Virginia that are going unfilled, thousands. Those jobs tend to fall into one of 4 industry sectors, but there are others as well. Healthcare, huge need. IT, that need is growing faster than ever before. Energy, and manufacturing. In those 4 areas, we have thousands of jobs open in the state of West Virginia right now. They're good jobs. They're high-paying jobs. They're jobs that will sustain your family. They're jobs that will keep you in the state of West Virginia. We have programs at our institutions to make sure that students can be successful and get those jobs and take those jobs. Unfortunately, we also have thousands of people in the state of West Virginia, and the mayor was just telling me earlier that there was a job fair in Charleston, and 2,500 people came looking for jobs. 2,500. So we have thousands of jobs, and we have thousands of people who want jobs. What we don't have are thousands of people who have the education and training that they need to take those jobs. And that education and training isn't just about a degree. And this is one of the things that the Alliance has really championed and I think is really important. I want you all to take a look at the West Virginia Ready Graduate Profile. Many of the things that employers tell us that they need are within that profile. Things like teamwork, collaboration, problem solving, self-direction, perseverance. You heard Faith say just a few minutes ago, you can't just teach kids the right answer. My husband, who's back here as a public school teacher, I hear him say it all the time. The kids just want me to tell them what the right answer is. But that's not good enough. We need to teach them to figure out how to come up with the best answer that you can at the time. Problems change. The parameters around problems change. There isn't a right answer for everything. And we have to be able to equip our students with the skills that they need in order to be able to solve those problems in whatever job they take. One of the things that I think about a lot is our graduation or our matriculation rate from high school to college. The national average for college matriculation rates for recent high schools going on to college right after graduating high school is 70%. In West Virginia, it's 55%. Do you know that only 9% of recent high school graduates in West Virginia matriculated onto a community and technical college? 9%. We're not doing something right. We're not telling our students about the opportunities that are available to them. And that's just the thing. The opportunities are, in fact, available to them. We have the structures in place. We're just not getting students through the path as quickly as we would like, or in the way that we would like. So in West Virginia, 55% of high school seniors go on to college. I thought you might be interested to know the matriculation rates of your county and the counties around you. Ohio County actually does a tremendous job, 73%, just about 73% of the recent high school grads go on to college after graduating high school. In Hancock County, it's 59%. Brooke County, it's 52%. Marshall County, it's 48%. We have counties in the state of West Virginia where only 1/3 of their high school graduates go on to college. 1/3. 60% of jobs require education and training in the state of West Virginia beyond high school. And we have counties where 1/3 of students are going on to college. What's happening? It's easy, really, to think about writing those students off, right? Those are the students who don't work hard enough. Those are the students who aren't academically inclined. But we know that's not true. We all know the straight A student who would be a first-generation college goer whose parents told him or her, you know, we really just need you to get a job. You don't need to go on to college. We know the mediocre students who just have that something about them, that twinkle in their eye, that you know if they would just push just hard enough, that they would be able to go to college. We know that that's the majority of our students. We know that those students exist in our schools. And so the question becomes, how do we get them over that hurdle? How do we get them over that edge? So again, I always go back to the research, and this time I'm going to quote my own research. I did my dissertation on how first-generation college goers got to college. It was a mixed method study, which means that I did both a statistical study and I interviewed students. And I interviewed dozens of students who were first-generation college goers, and I'm just going to tell you about one of them. But what happened to him was very similar to what happened to all of the students, so I really only need to tell you about one. His name was Michael. Michael's dad died when he was young, leaving his mom a single mom with 3 children. She worked a minimum wage job. After his father died, she had to work a second minimum wage job. Michael was the oldest of the 3 children. Michael started to work. He started to work as soon as he could. He started by shoveling snow in the winters and helping out with people planting their gardens in the summers. When he got old enough to actually have a real job, he worked in a grocery store. And he worked in that grocery store every day after school. As soon as school was out, he scheduled so that the study halls would be his final period so he could leave school early. And he would go to the grocery store and he would work until it closed. And that's how he helped support his family. That's how he helped support his mom. And he was a great worker. He did a terrific job. The owner of the grocery store told him that when he graduated high school, he would make Michael the manager of the high school, and Michael was thrilled. He was thrilled. His mom was thrilled. This was a good paying job. This was a real job. This was going to help their family. And then one Sunday at church, Michael was talking to another member of his church. And that member said to him, "Where are you going to go to college?" And Michael said, I'm not going to college. I can't go to college. Why can't you go to college? Well, I can't afford to go to college. So luckily, this member of his church was pretty well informed about financial aid packaging, which is not common amongst general residents, right? But he knew about the Pell Grant. He knew about applying for the FAFSA. He'd just done this with his daughter. And so he talked with Michael about what he needed to do. Michael said that there's still an application fee. Listen, I'm fine. I'm going to be the manager of the grocery store. I'm fine. I don't need to go to college. And he said, if the only thing that's standing in your way is paying the application fee to go to college, I'll pay it. And he paid it. And Michael got into the University of Michigan. And Michael became an engineer. And Michael works for the automotive industry. And Michael's 2 younger sisters also went to college. And Michael turned his entire family around. He turned his entire family around because some guy at church offered to pay his application fee. That's what happens time and time and time again to our first generation college students. It's a one-off conversation. It's somebody bothering to sit down with them and say, hey, do you know that these opportunities exist? Even if you don't know what the opportunities are, hey, can I hook you up with Larry Tackett or Mike Kuhn at West Virginia Northern so that they can tell you about the opportunities that exist at West Virginia Northern? Can I hook you up with somebody at West Liberty so that they can talk to you about the opportunities that exist at West Liberty? Let me talk to you about the jobs that exist in our state, about how you can stay here if that's what you want to do. But if it's not, let's try to get you some really great information about the opportunities that are outside our state. Because maybe they're a student like me, who 1 week after I graduated high school said, I am getting the heck out of Wheeling and I am never coming back to the state of West Virginia again. It was the last thing I do. Who lived out of state for 15 years and found herself back here and couldn't be happier to do it. These are all opportunities for our students. These are all things that we can do to help make our students successful and to help change the face of West Virginia and education in West Virginia. It's not rocket science. I'm not talking about wholesale change. I'm talking about embedding very specific, very strategic pedagogical techniques focused largely around the West Virginia Ready graduate profile in high schools, and middle schools, and elementary schools, and in college. And we're talking about changing the way that we talk about going to college. It's not, are you going to go? It's, where are you going to go? It's not just about football teams. It's about all of the other things that colleges bring to them. It's about all of the jobs, all of the opportunities that we can have. We can change the state of West Virginia. We can change what's happening here, and we can close that 31 to 60% gap. We can close it, I know we can. But we have to be strategic, we have to work together, and we have to make sure that we're targeting all of our students, not just the high flyers. Thank you.